Welcome and good morning to, or from, Joe Stunner Boxing. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's 8 a.m. over here in the UK. And let's start the day with a little bit of litigation talk. This follows Chris Eubank's claim that his ambulance was prevented from leaving the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium after the first, his fight with Conor Benn. They've got the rematch pending in December, of course. Chris claims that Matchroom and in conjunction with the border control conspired to prevent his ambulance from leaving, and by 20 minutes. And he stated that, he could have died, or if it had been a more serious injury, he could have died. In fact, he was dehydrated, which is bad enough, of course. But this is heavy stuff, because if you're going to accuse someone of basically endangering your life, you better have some proof. And we know that Eddie Hearn has already threatened litigation against EUBANK. I don't think anything's been filed yet, but writs are incoming. Not just from Eddie Hearn, because Robert Smith of the board, who EUBANK called a scumbag, didn't say too much, but he was asked about it on TalkSport, and he said that the board's lawyers have been consulted. So I thought EUBANK would probably get an almighty fine, but no. This is slanderous, which if EUBANK doesn't have any proof, it is slanderous. And it looks like he's getting a two-pronged attack, from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and also Robert Smith and the board. Now, a few people have said, well, EUBANK's telling his truth, and, he's revealing what really goes on, and so on and so forth. Unless you've got evidence for this, I call nonsense. Look, if EUBANK believes that there is some immense conspiracy of that nature, that Eddie Hearn and Robert Smith would conspire to endanger his life, then he is a truly either an unbelievably naive or extremely stupid conspiracy theorist of Alex Jones proportions, or David Icke proportions, two people who belong in psychiatric wards and should leave logical, objective thinking to people who are actually capable of doing it. Chris EUBANK Jr. is, to me, he's out of order here, unless he's got some real evidence, which he hasn't got. I don't see how he could possibly have it. You'd need some sort of email trail, paper trail, statements from insiders, blah, blah. You need some sort of basis for these allegations. Otherwise, they're slanderous. You're endangering the life of a fighter. The British Boxing Board of Control doing that. A leading British promoter doing that. It's fanciful at best, okay? And I don't see that EUBANK has got a leg to stand on. Now, I don't know how much he's getting for the rematch. 10 million, 20 million, I haven't got a clue. But he likes throwing money away. He really does. I mean, he's obviously got it in for the board because they fined him. He's obviously got it in for Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn because Conor failed 2 tests and was never punished. And did not, has at no point proven his innocence of those 2 tests. As much as Conor Benn's sort of growing on me. I did a video about this recently, but that doesn't detract from what he did previously. He failed 2 tests and he was not found innocent. I'm not interested in his stupid dossier, which has never been given to any independent scientist to verify or debunk. No, it doesn't matter whether you're found clear to box. It doesn't make you innocent. It just means you've been found clear to box. They're letting you box. They're giving you a license back. So there are plenty of stones left unturned regarding that side of things. So EUBANK has a right to be pissed off to some degree about that particular point. But let's be quite clear about things. He signed contracts to fight Benn. If he was so morally outraged by Conor Benn, he wouldn't have signed the contract and picked up 10 million first time round. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't be both have the moral high ground and also be a prostitute. If you feel that something is a moral point and you're not prepared to roll over on it, that could mean anything. That could mean being rendered homeless. That could mean losing all your money. That could mean, in some cases, from a political point of view. Some people have lost their lives over a certain moral points. So, and no, I'm not talking about Charlie fucking Kirk, but I'm talking about real activists and real freedom fighters from yesteryear. But if you're not prepared to do that, or if you don't want to do that, or if you just want to make money, which EUBANK is, as his father said, a money man, then yeah, you're a prostitute. What else are you? You're someone whose morals are completely fluid, and that's no good. That's bad. Shouldn't need to say that. Okay. And from there, we descend down into sheer hypocrisy, stinking hypocrisy, which seems to be the order of the day when it comes to the world we live in today. But whatever the case, EUBANK will be punished, and punished where it obviously hurts him most, which is the pocket. And he's going to get it from Hearn, and he's going to get it from the board as well. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the board took his license off him. I thought that might happen. I certainly thought they'd fine him, but legal action. See, the board is not a wealthy organisation. It's actually been bankrupted in the past, and it was, of all people, Frank Warren that bailed them out, because he recognised that you need a board, that they have a very, very tough job to do. They can't be all things to all people. They're going to get accused of all sorts of stuff. I have plenty of criticisms of the board. I think we all have, especially with regards to judging and refereeing and so on. But the one thing that I would support the board on is their exemplary health and safety measures, which are pretty much the envy of most of the rest of the world. Ever since the Michael Watson incident, where Watson had severe brain damage and has spent the last 34 years receiving 24/7 care, absolute life-changing injuries, the board have completely overhauled their health and safety regime, and there have been fatalities since, and there have been bad injuries since. But I don't think they can be faulted on their health and safety measures. Boxing is, by its very definition, an extremely dangerous sport, and you're not going to get past that. You're not going to get past that at all. And I think the board actually do a pretty decent job in that area. Well, more than a decent job, a very good job in that area. But for EUBANK to suggest that they colluded to endanger his health, or even his life, is kind of, like I say, we're talking Alex Jones bullshit here, aren't we? Yeah, Chris, you may be making a lot of money, mate, but you're throwing a lot of it away, and it ain't on the poker table this time. So, I don't know. What do you think? Leave your comments below, of course, as usual. Where do you think this is going? I wonder if this rematch will happen. I suppose it will, but with all sorts of legal eagles being consulted, EUBANK might pull the plug and say, I'll have to wait until these legal issues are over, until I fight. This has affected me too much, or there might be some plenty more twists and turns to come, I think. But let me know what you think. Comments below. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. If you're new, because we've got plenty for you, I always appreciate your support. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Monday. The work week is ahead. Work always gets in the way of reality, doesn't it? The real world. But I'll see you soon. Bye for now.